Another beautiful day in our lives, and of course you're welcome to Let's Talk Entertainment. This is where I bring you all the exclusive trending entertainment stories in your world of entertainment. And guess what? Well, today I get to talk to a Ghanaian American filmmaker. Yeah, she's here in Ghana. She's doing so much. I've been talking to her, and trust me, she has so much for the industry. And of course, Kofi Kinata is also in the news after his music confessions. And of course, he himself was not nominated for the Artist of the Year category. And Steve Harvey also has something to tell the Oscars. My name is Doreen Avio. Stick and stay. If you just joined me, this is Let's Talk Entertainment, and yes, as I mentioned earlier, I have been hanging out with Ghanaian American filmmaker. Her name is Asantewaa Prempeh. She is into short films, but of course she is in Ghana for her latest production, and she has been talking about the movie industry and her plans, and of course who to work with. All right, so today we are talking entertainment with the beautiful Asantewaa Prempeh. Now, she's an award-winning movie maker. You know what? I don't know whether to describe her as a young person, an older person. She looks cute though. Yeah, you might want to know more about her movies, everything she does. And of course, she is in Ghana, and I'm sure she has so much for the creative arts sector. So today, we're going to be talking to her, and of course, the inside bit of her. I'm sure she's in Ghana. She's tasted our food. She has her favorite. She has some stuff that she likes, maybe hangouts and all of that. All of that right here on Let's Talk Entertainment. My name is Doreen Avio, and let's go straight to Asantewaa. Asantewaa, welcome to Let's Talk Entertainment.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Asantewaa, how long have you been doing movies?
I've been doing it for, since 2011. Yes, so that would be 6 years.
Voilà. Mon doute, c'est serré, 50. Ah, mais elle m'a fait travailler, donc il faut que son porte-monnaie aussi travaille.
Wow, 6 years, but doing all of it, how has the experience been like?
It's been a really, really great experience. It's also a people say like, oh, it's a learning experience. It's literally a learning experience, because as you go, you meet people, you have relationships, you write these stories. The beautiful thing about film is that the stories they last forever, and they kind of speak to you about later on in life. And so I feel like it's a great learning experience. Yeah.
Okay. What inspires your work?
I'm very much inspired by, what I'm surrounded by. So my society, nature, there's an element that runs through all of this, and which is the authenticity and like the truth behind these things. And that's what I'm inspired by. Anything that brings forth truth, I like. And you can't go wrong with nature, because, water doesn't lie, trees don't lie. And there's a beauty in truth. And so I'm inspired by that. Excuse me. There are certain bad things too that happen that I'm not condoning, but I believe that there's some truth to it. For example, if somebody does something that's against what we find acceptable, there's a truth in how he came to be. And so that's something that I'm also interested in that, our society influences us to make certain decisions. And then if they're bad, we try and change from them. If they're good, we keep going. There's a truth to how we're heavily affected by society, and that's what inspires me. Yeah.
Now, one will ask, you're doing movies, you're probably doing movies out there, you're doing quite great. So why are you in Ghana?
I love Ghana. I grew up in Ghana. I'm inspired by the stories here in Ghana. I see that there's a huge opportunity for the film industry in Ghana to become bigger. We have a film industry here, but we want it, in everything we strive for the best. So we want it to go onto a global platform. And so I'm here to tap into that with the help of the other filmmakers who are already here. And then I'm also here to garner the support from, Ghanaians to continue in that journey, or to raise that voice, or to raise that awareness about our country. I go to places and people are like, oh, football, but that began from the support of Ghanaians, and so I want it to be like, oh, filmmaking, or oh, you make really good films, and I want it to be from the support of Ghanaians, because what good it does, again, it goes back to authenticity. What good is it if I have somebody from Europe supporting a Ghanaian film? Then they claim it as their own, you know, and I want us to claim our own. And so that's why I'm here.
Now, since I'm sure you've seen some Ghanaian movies. Do you have any favorites?
I've seen a myriad of Ghanaian films throughout my life. In the beginning, Who Killed Nancy was my favorite. Yes, I would watch and watch and watch. I'm blanking on some of them, but Ajite Fio, the actor, Sam Ajite Fio, who did Taxi Driver, I really enjoyed his films when I was young. I've seen, for the newer ones, I've seen a couple. I like some of the films that Priscilla Anane does. I like some of Layla's films. She's also a really great filmmaker that I've been inspired by. I've seen a bunch. These are the films that I like. I've also seen a lot of, Ejako films.
When I heard you were in Kumasi, I was wondering what's she doing there.
I've seen a lot of Ejako films. There's an element to it that I like a lot because it's able to appeal to certain audiences and it makes you see what people are craving for, and that's what I like. I see them mostly in the VIP bus. So,
when you watch these movies, do you think that there's something to be added, there's something to be subtracted, or do you think we can improve on what we have based on what you have seen in terms of our movies? Is there a little to touch up with it?
Well, I would go on to say that in everything, the only improvement we can do is focus less on technology, because technology comes and goes. So a movie is not a movie if it's shot with an Alexa or a Red camera, you know? A movie is not a movie if you have like an expensive photographer to come and photograph it. A movie is a movie if you are true to it. So I feel like if there's room for improvement, that's where we should be focusing on the stories and how we tell those stories, not necessarily on technology, and because it comes and goes, and it's not an added element. It doesn't add or subtract from the film.
Okay. Looks like you're also here to work on your next production, or let me say project. Can you tell us more about that as well?
Okay, so it's in two parts. One of it takes place in New York and the other takes place here. The one here would focus more on how this guy is trying to build his house, and it shows you, it deals with the themes from my short film, which was Jungle, of trust and betrayal, and it shows you the obstacles that he comes across and how he overcomes it, and what building a house really means to him compared to like his family and his friends and things like that. I also noticed that after I was done writing it, because I was centering around those themes, I also noticed that it's sort of a commentary or a take on how, society views men. And because of that, the way they react to it, to the people around them. And so I find it very interesting, the perspective and the views that go on as Ghanaians, over here. The other one also takes place in New York and follows this girl who is trying to escape from her past, from the memories of her past, because of previous decisions she's made that have affected her, and what she does to escape those memories and what she does to get better. Yes. For producers here, like, they've done such a great work with what they're doing. They've been able to pave the way for people like me to come and also find an interest in there. It's sort of tough, but I want us to know that we shouldn't give up, because like, had they given up, I wouldn't have been inspired. So it's like keep doing what you're doing, so that I can find somebody to look up to. Yes.
Any intentions of working with Leila Jansi anytime soon?
I've worked with her before, and it would be nice to have like a collaborative effort, if she's open for it still. Yeah, I know she's a very busy, big shot out there, so yeah.
So you might want to reach out to her if you're a young film producer out there and want to learn more or get to know about her works. You can just get interactive with her on social media. That's Instagram, Asantewaa P. I got it right? Official Asantewaa P. So go get in touch with her, get to know more about her movies. And thanks so much for talking to us on Let's Talk Entertainment.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity. Yes.
And that was Asantewaa Prempeh. She is making Ghana proud. Now, away from that, Samini is not happy with the Ghana Music Awards board, and he's not happy because he thought that Kofi Kinata deserved to be in the Artist of the Year category, but, well, Kofi Kinata is in there. He thinks that the VGMA board has treated him unfairly.
One very important fact as well, I don't know how Kofi Kinata didn't make it onto the list of Artists of the Year. If anybody can explain that to me for this year's Ghana Music Awards, Kofi Kinata for Artist of the Year. And then also, I think I'll leave it at that. Me, I won't even talk about myself too much because we've been there and I've seen this too many times. I am worried about how my artist, Kofi Kinata, after all this buzz, if AMG Medical could make it onto Artist of the Year, I think Kofi Kinata wasn't treated fairly.
I'm sure that the organizers have come out to explain that a couple of times.
The explanation will always come every year. It will always come, but people's grievances will also need to be heard. So I've just spoken my piece. I know that this would not go and edit the list because it's already out, but I'm really disappointed. But I'm hoping that he gets most of what he got nominated for. We're going to be out there in our numbers to support and make sure that the FPA Kuma Hitsmaker goes back with a lot more plaques. Yeah.
But in all of this, what does Kofi Kinata have to say? Well, he has been talking to my colleague IB about the whole drama unfolding around him because everybody thinks that Kofi Kinata should have been nominated for the Artist of the Year category.
Once I was saying about saved by grace, you are nothing to day by day. What you want to move on, one more against one name, Kofi is still high grade.
Do you think this is going to have any effect on the song?
No. Yeah, I was disappointed. I was, but now I'm cool. You know, yeah, now I'm cool. I'm a human being, and when I feel bad, I have to express myself. But you know, I'm cool. Yeah, Chacha House. I mean, the VGMA board is too big for Kofi Kinata to fight them. Yeah, and I was just expressing myself. I wasn't fighting anybody. I felt Confession was supposed to be there, but they said no. Who am I to challenge them? Like, I'm okay, I'm cool, life goes on. People are going to vote, and yeah, I thought Confession would be added to the most popular song. It wasn't added, so I don't want to be assuming anything. Like, yeah.
Do you think if Confessions was in there, it would have won that category?
Yeah, Confession would have beaten every category. Like, Confession would have been winning every category.
So you believe that every category that Confessions is there, you believe that is a done deal?
Yeah, but you know, the right thing is supposed to be done. Like Confession.
For Let's Talk Entertainment, my name is Doreen Avio, and if you missed out on all the trending entertainment stories, you can always